Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and it's not every day you go on national television, get exposed as a fraud, get roasted, and humiliated. Unless you're Hakeem Jeffries, then it's pretty close to every day. Before we get started, I want you guys to please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Hakeem Jeffries likes to go on places like CNN, MSNBC, where he's not really pressed too hard. He can go on there, he can make his case, hit his talking points, walk out with a few softball questions. But then you go on something like CNBC, and that's nothing like MSNBC. It's a completely different animal. And these people are business people, and they are reporting to people who care about the financial industry. Generally conservatives. So when you go on there, you damn sure better have answers that make sense. Now, Jeffries went on and he tried to say that what the Democrats are calling for, what they're demanding in what is tantamount to ransom to reopen the government, wouldn't cause inflation. And that's an outright lie. They always tell you this. It won't cause inflation, and it always does. I remember back when everybody was getting their stimulus checks, and I was warning them, I was screaming from the rooftops, don't ask for these stimulus checks. It's going to ruin the country. You're going to get this small amount of money, and you're going to pay it back tenfold or more in inflation. But people just wanted those, quote-unquote, at the time, stimmies. They wanted their stimmies, and it ruined the entire economy. Well, Jeffries, he tried to claim that this stuff would not cause inflation, and he got roasted right to his face. I want you to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
Time to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Okay, let's talk about some of these issues. You bring up inflation, and you're right to do so. We just got the CPI. It was not quite as hot as had been anticipated, but inflation is higher than the Fed's target range or than anybody feels comfortable with. The problem is inflation is often caused by government spending. Additional government spending is not likely to get it to the point where we are going to see less inflation out there. How do you handle that?
This is not additional government spending.
It is additional government spending. You're looking for another $350 billion of additional government spending over the next 10 years.
That's just with the Obama.
We're actually extending a tax credit that currently exists. And what's interesting is that in one big ugly bill where Republicans raised the debt ceiling by about over $4 trillion, exploded the deficit and the debt, but then they used a policy framework called current policy baseline, which is to say that if you just extend current policy, it has no fiscal impact. So the question is, why are Republicans willing to use that approach?
Numbers in the government.
So the question is, why are Republicans willing to use that approach when it comes to massive tax breaks?
Like I said, I'm not a big fan with how any of the government, I'm not a big fan of how any elected officials tend to use figures to tell us what we want to hear with some of these things. Additional government spending, though, is going to mean worse numbers when it comes to inflation. Is there a way to get everybody together and try and find ways to fix the base problems with health care and try and make sure that people are being given the help that they need along the way? It seems like it's a really tough thing to do when the government's been shut for 24 days, that is not a great situation, that we're asking other people to bear the pain.
We have a broken health care system, and it obviously needs to be fixed in a decisive way.